So I'm 21 years old, in bed on winter break. I'm answering some texts from a few girls that I'm seeing, and I am just smacked with a flashback of when I was 17 and I was in bed not able to sleep because I was fantasizing about a Food Lion cashier. Because the day before, I was in this grocery store in my hometown called Food Lion, and this cashier was checking me out, and she was about my age, brunette and cute. Very cute. And it was a super normal interaction, other than the fact that I was nervous as fuck. And she just asked me, "You look familiar. Do I know you?" And I knew I did not know this girl. I knew that she was just like trying to, start a conversation to say something. Maybe even flirt a little bit, but I didn't know. I don't think girls flirt. I just don't think they do. But she asked me that, and I'm so nervous, but I'm trying to play it cool. Maybe you know my brothers. And I tell her the names of my brothers, and she's like, "Nope, doesn't ring a bell. Have a good day." I immediately killed all attraction, any chance, gone. But that night and the next few nights, I was kicking myself in bed, feeling like such a loser because I was still intimidated by girls I thought were cute. Looking up guides on how to talk to women because I felt so lonely, so incapable, fantasizing about what it would be like if I could have made her my girlfriend. And I'll be honest, bro, I was kissing my pillow a little bit. Just a little smooch. But I'm struck with this memory when I'm at 21 because I'm in the exact same position, in the exact same bed, right? I'm sitting in the exact same way. 4 years later, and I feel in such abundance with women, with great relationships in my life. And I kind of get this feeling of, oh shit, I've kind of done it. I've become this version of myself that I dreamed of being 4 years ago. So how the fuck did I do it? Right now, you don't make the kind of relationships that you want in your life, whether it's deep friendships, casual relationships with girls, or finding your life partner, because you simply haven't learned the skills that are prerequisite to doing so. It's not because something is wrong with you or because there's anything different with you and the guy who seems like such a natural. It's not because you were born any lesser. You were just raised differently. And I'm sorry that was the case, bro, but you and I probably have a lot in common if that's true. And this is good news because it means the only difference between you and the guy that you want to become is you've just got a couple skills to learn. And it's not your fault that you didn't grow up with the social skills displayed to you that you needed. But it is your responsibility now if you want to live a life where you are surrounded by the relationships with men and women that you want. And the best news is that I'm about to show you the 4 social skills secrets that are going to put you ahead of every other guy who's just been well off enough to not have to worry about social skills. Think about that, bro. Because you and I struggled, we are becoming these social leaders because we had to learn this shit the hard way, unlike everyone else who was just given it. This gives you and me drive to become exceptional at social skills. So follow these hacks and you will be exceptional. You're going to notice people start to treat you differently. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Luke Grenoble, and we are a gang of like-minded young men, no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living a life with average social skills. If that sounds like something you want to be a part of, hit the subscribe button right now. Our goal by the end of 2024 was to create 5,000 social celebrities, and as you can see, we've blown right past it. Because of that, we've opened a Discord for all of the people who are serious about power leveling their social skills. A place where we can finally share secrets, tips, stories, where we can big each other up and keep each other accountable. So if you want to be a part of that underground community, hit the Discord link in the description. My promise to you is that by the end of this video, you are going to have concrete steps for you to start to become this socially attractive version of yourself through action. The first secret is genuinely liking yourself. Crazy, right? But I guarantee that this is something you struggle with if you have struggled with social skills in the past. The reason that this is something you have to work on is because whenever you genuinely like yourself, you start to unlock this skill in the skill tree, which is ruthless authenticity. Liking yourself and authenticity go hand in hand, and nothing is more attractive than being 100% authentic. And that's kind of counterintuitive, right? You think if I show more of myself, less people are going to connect with me. No, bro. More and more and more people are going to connect with you because you are showing this is who I am. Even if you don't like every single part of me, that I have nothing to hide. In a world filled with fake people, it's easy to be loved for just showing who you actually are. And this is hard. This is hard because every single thing in your mind is telling you, no, don't show people that part. Don't show this ugly side of yourself. Don't show people that you like this anime. Don't show people what you do in your free time, your beliefs, your opinions. And you need to start taking action and doing these things anyway, even though they're scary. But it's going to be much easier when you understand why. So if you already know that you don't fully like yourself, or if you're starting to accept maybe this guy is onto something, maybe that's why it is hard for me to be myself around people, think why. My guess is it's because you haven't critically looked at and chosen your own beliefs yet. You think they're your beliefs, you think they're your mindsets, but every single thing that you believe, you've been given by the people before you who were raising you, right? This is your parents. This is the people in your school, teachers. Now you have the beliefs of your parents and your society around you that aren't necessarily yours, but think about it, bro. Every time that you would act out of line with whatever your parents believed, with whatever your church believed, you were punished for it as a kid. And so you learned, don't act out of line. You grew up learning to people please, to beliefs that aren't necessarily yours, but they're the ones that have been handed down to you. And you have this vision of this perfect self that you have to be, according to what everyone else wants of you. But you never stop to ask, what the fuck do I want? Because this image of this perfect self is not in line with who you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't beat yourself up so often. You wouldn't say all these shitty things about yourself, that you are a loser, that you are antisocial, that you don't really like people anyway. Bro, you're a human being. Of course you do. We are built to be social. It's also a problematic belief to think that you have to be perfect all the time. But subconsciously, you hold yourself to that standard. That is why the negative voice in your head is so fucking strong. And it doesn't help when you have social media portraying the perfect sides of absolutely everything. You start to believe that you are ugly. You start to believe that you are living a boring life because you see all of these pretty people doing these exciting things. Bro, even me, man, I have a fucking ring light here. Hold on. This is what I look like without all the perfect lighting, bro. Like, I'm just a fucking guy. People ask me for my skincare routine, but I think my skincare is pretty shit for the most part. I get pimples all the time, bro. I have literal marks, scarring from pimples that I used to have around my lips. My skin's not anywhere close to perfect. It's a lot better than it was. I used to have terrible acne, but it's not perfect. And sometimes my hair looks ass, bro. Sometimes I can get self-conscious about that too. But that's another thing with being authentic. Because I told you those things, because I showed you some places I am vulnerable in, you probably like me more now, not less. You probably feel more connected to me because you're like, oh, he's a real human being. How do you think other people feel whenever you start to take down the mask a little bit? The exact same way, bro. So your action step right now is to journal, and pause this video and do it if you really want to change. Don't think you're going to do it after, because you're probably not. If you really want to change, pause this video and do it right now. Journal. What times, if any, do you feel like you are 100% authentic? Maybe it's when you're sitting in your room. Maybe it's whenever you're in a certain place. There's a coffee shop you like to go to where you're friends with some of the people there. It's really easy to be yourself then. Now I want you to think, why don't you act like this all the time? You're going to come up with a lot of deep reasons, bro. You're going to come up with a lot of beliefs that you were given throughout your life that don't necessarily fit. So what are those childhood beliefs that you were given that are no longer serving you now? And what can you believe instead that is rational, that makes sense, that is going to serve you going forward? The second secret in social skills that makes you attractive as fuck is knowing success in your social life is exponential. And nothing is more attractive than already having a group of boys behind you. And this is why I have so much hope for you, bros, because once you make one friend, it's easy to make a second. Once you have two friends, it's easy to make 3, 4, 5. Once you have this group of boys, it's easy to host parties, to get to know more people, to become known, to become this mini celebrity, this social celebrity version of yourself in the area you're in. It all is exponential. As soon as you nail these couple habits, it's cake. And I want to explain why. It's because whenever you have this group of boys behind you, you're no longer needing the attention of a specific girl, of a specific dude that you want to be friends with. You don't need it anymore because you already have this group of guys behind you. It's way easier to be authentic, to be real, to be non-needy. And non-neediness is one of the keys to attraction for women and also friendships. And you can always fake non-neediness, right? That's what pickup artists do. They practice the perfect line. They walk up and practice the facial expressions. But bro, what's way easier than that is just to become non-needy. Genuinely. Don't learn the tricks and hacks, bro. Just make good friends. Hang with people often. Stop self-isolating. Start flirting with girls regularly. With no intent. Not to make moves, just because it's fun. An easy way to implement this in your life is to plan one fun thing to do each week. And you're going to go do this thing no matter what. Maybe it's a little challenging, maybe it's just fun as fuck, but you are going to do it. You're also going to invite other people out to do it with you. It could be going roller skating, you could be going to see a movie, you could be just going to a McDonald's, ordering a Big Mac and skating in the parking lot. It doesn't have to be something huge. The point is, you're going to go do something that you genuinely think is fun. And when you're going to have a good time, you're going to be excited about it. You're going to be talking about it. And when you are telling the people around you about it, maybe you've got a couple guys in your phone that aren't quite friends, but they could be. They have friend potential. Text them, bro. Say, hey, a bunch of us are going to go do this thing this weekend. You should come along. When you specifically use phrases like that, like a bunch of us are going, we're all going to do this, it already puts people into a group mentality. And maybe it's a little bit manipulative because you're like stoking their FOMO, right? But honestly, bro, if you're planning on getting a group together and going somewhere, a bunch of people probably are going to go. And when you do this weekly, bro, you're going to have a couple of regular guys who keep showing up. These are going to be your homies, your day ones, that you can now text whenever, that you can now have a casual hangout with. And you're going to start to become friends with people just because you are around them more. You're doing something that puts you together in the same place with the same goal. And now you're also starting to level up your leadership skills. You are deciding where to go, when to do things, and that takes a load of effort off of other people. That's also attractive as fuck. The third social skills secret is the fuck it we ball mentality. Whenever you are out doing these weekly things with your homies, I want you to keep in the front of your mind what would make the better memory. Because so far, your focus has been on what's safe. I'm not gonna go talk to this group of people because that's uncomfortable. I'm not gonna go skinny dipping. I'm not going to go try this new thing because it's uncomfortable. But bro, we as men grow through discomfort. And when you shift your focus from doing what's comfortable to what's exciting, to what would make the better memory when you were an old man, not only do you have more fun, but you start leveling up skills that are important like bravery, courage, boldness. Plus, when you are old and dying, do you really think you're gonna remember the 5th time that you went to Chipotle with the boys? Or are you gonna remember the time when you all went skinny dipping in a waterfall? And yes, it's not always going to be the most comfortable to do these things, but imagine the stories that you're going to be able to tell. Imagine the kind of guy that you're going to become. You're going to become this guy who people want to naturally spend time around because they're like, oh my God, he does so much exciting stuff. I want to be a part of that. Be honest, bro, you've waited for that kind of guy to come along in your life. Be that guy for other people. What's stopping you? Start making bets with your brothers, holding them accountable. I'll give you an example. Me and my buddy Ian's a musician, and I said, Ian, what is your goal for this song? And he said, I want to get a demo out by this day. And I said, okay, I'll make you a bet. If you don't get it out by then, you have to jump into a cold river. And if you do, I will jump into a cold river. So it puts some stakes on it, right? It makes life more exciting, more fun. And then we went out a month later and he didn't hit his goal. And I'm remembering that. I keep that in the front of my mind because now we're out. We're out at a couple bars. We're talking to some people and there's a river nearby. I say, Ian, tonight's the night. He says, I don't know. And I say, Ian, fuck it, we ball. Tonight's the night. And so we go over to the river. Bro strips off his clothes. And after debating his life choices for a few minutes, he gets in.
Baptism by fire, baby.
He is soaking wet. He's cold because it is November. Bro is dying, but also having the time of his life. And I still have that in front of my mind. Fuck it, we ball. So what do?
It's very warm. Anyway, it's a really warm place to be right now, and for me to be inside of, and I'm not actually damp. You would think with a river like this, you'd get wet.
Even though I won the bet, I didn't have to get in the river. I stripped off my clothes, and I did it anyway, because it was exciting. It was going to be fun. It was going to be something that I remembered. Bro, that wasn't this November. That was November last year that happened. And I still remember that day vividly, because it was an incredible story when we both got in the river, just because it was going to be fun. And then we put all of our clothes on, again, soaking wet, and went back out to the bars and started talking to people. What a fun night, dude. What a fun story I have to tell now. An easy way for you to put this into your own life is start playing What Are the Odds with your friends. You probably already know what it is. If you don't, you're basically just making bets with them all the time. What are the odds you go up and talk to that group of girls right now? And then your friend says 1 out of 10. And so you both start to count down at the same time. You say 3, 2, 1, and you both say a number. If it's the same number, he's got to go do it. Take turns playing What Are the Odds with your friends and make life fucking exciting, bro. Another part of the fuck it we ball mindset that I want to talk about is thinking, I am here to make myself laugh. In any social situation you're in, don't be thinking of this result that you want, right? Like, I want him to like me, or I want to get this girl's phone number. That's not the important part. You have to start going into places with the mindset that there is no result to get. Doesn't matter if this guy likes you. Doesn't matter if this girl thinks you're cute or you get her phone number. What matters is that you are having a fun time. And you might think if I'm making sure that I have a fun time, I'm probably gonna be rude to other people. No, bro. If you are having fun, if you are giggling, cracking yourself up with your buddies, people are going to be like, what are they doing over there that is so fun? I want in on that. Plus, whenever you're making yourself laugh, you're probably going to be making other people laugh too. And whenever that is your only goal, you are killing your habits of being people-pleasing. You are radiating non-neediness. And that is attractive as fuck. And I'll tell you, bro, every single time that I've had girls approach me, it's because I am making myself laugh in a very public manner. I'm having fun with the people around me. I'm just starting fun conversations with strangers. I'm goofing with the people that I already know. The fourth social secret is you have to stop being afraid of touch. It would be really PC of me to say always ask for permission, always be really careful when touching people. But bro, right now I'm gonna take a wild guess and say that any touch for you already feels like an invasion. It already feels awkward, like you're in their personal space. And it's not because that's true. It's not because no one likes to be touched, bro. It's only because you have had poor experiences in the past with it and you've beaten yourself up over and over and over again. You've made it such a huge deal. On top of that, touch probably wasn't common in your family. You didn't grow up with the role models displaying how to show love through touch. Now that it's time to change. Because the media doesn't help it either whenever you see men getting drinks thrown in their face, men getting publicly shamed for flirting. But bro, that shit does not happen in real life because human beings are built to touch one another. We are built to show affection. We have a deep internal need to receive love, but also to give it. And one form of that is touch. With the boys, bro, get hella comfortable. Give your bros hugs, give them an arm around the shoulder, give a bro massage, pretend he's Rocky about to hit the ring. And play around, dog. Don't be afraid to push. Fight your brother on occasion. Get him in the clinch if you need to. Build up how comfortable you are with touch until you are extremely confident with it. You can start with a high five or a fist bump, then start to going for a dap. Start going for a dap with a hug. Eventually, just start going full hug. Straight up hug your bros. The more comfortable you can get with touch, the better, because the more you're going to be able to feel like yourself and be authentic. And with women, high five, handshake, fist bump. Give them a hug when you first meet them. Because you're doing both of you a favor, it makes you both more comfortable. It's like she can put this wall down of like, oh, okay, cool, he's not a creep. Because you can just show that you're a normal guy who's social, who's not weird about touch, right? Safe zones for women are the arms, shoulders, and hands. And no one's going to think it's weird, bro, especially if you were touching your boys all throughout the night. If you have your arms around their shoulders, if you were playing around with them. The only time it's ever weird is if you were treating one person differently than the rest. Say there's one girl in a group of her friends, and if you're talking to them and you are only touching one girl, bro, that's weird. Give everyone a fist bump, give everyone a handshake, a high five. Now, welcome, boys, to the gang members only section where I can say the stuff that's a little bit controversial, but it's actually going to help you because everyone who doesn't really vibe with the message has already clicked off of this video. So there's one last bonus tip that I want to give you, and it's going to be a bit higher level. So if you don't quite understand this part yet, that's okay. But I at least want to plant the seed in your brain. This is to start using sex energy. And the men who have already figured this out are going to be mad that I'm sharing this secret with you. But I see no one talking about this on YouTube right now. Maybe NoFap YouTubers, or honestly, I haven't been in that community for years. But any of the NoFap videos that I saw never explained it in a way like this that made so much sense in terms of social skills. And sex energy sounds like this woo-woo thing, but I'm going to explain it in a way that makes sense. The way you come off in a social situation is highly dependent on your emotion, right? We can agree on that. If you're sad, it's really hard to show that you're not sad. If you're happy, you're going to be radiating. It's going to be easy for people to come up to you, start a conversation, because you just have this energy about you. But the most attractive, the most charming people, the best salesmen, always are naturally already doing this, or like you and I have learned the secret of sex energy. Sex is the most powerful drive and emotion that human beings have. It's our main biological purpose for being, right? Is to reproduce. It grants power, enthusiasm, energy to make shit happen. It is such a hack to motivation, but most people take this drive and they beat off. And this is why it's going to be so easy to get ahead of most other men who don't do this. The energy doesn't just go away. You have to use it for another purpose. If you consciously redirect your mind's thoughts from sex to being social, to having a good time, you're going to notice a night and day difference in how you are acting and how people treat you. Girls are going to start to pay attention to you more. It's going to seem like guys around you are just giving you more respect. It's almost like they want to do you favors. And it's not because of some magical force. It's not because sex energy is some weird mystical thing. It's because you're starting to act differently. It makes you naturally stand up straighter, take up more space, be more bold in your actions and words. You start displaying traits of a leader, and it gives you this feeling of fight within you. And I'll be honest, it's not easy, bro. It takes willpower to redirect your thoughts and to harness this sex energy. But it's a skill. With practice, it gets easier and easier until you reach the point where you don't even think about it anymore. You're naturally just a guy who radiates this attractive sex energy. And when you do, you unlock a new level of living. Talking to girls becomes second nature. You speak up for yourself because of course you would. People look at you differently because they've never noticed how much of a natural leader you seem to be. And this is the kind of life that I want you to start living. So your action step right now is to decide what you are doing this week. What is going to be the one thing you're going to do this week that's going to be fun and exciting? And then invite people to go with you. And literally go into the reminders app on your phone and set a reminder for when you are out, when you know I'm going to be out at this time with the boys. Remind yourself, use touch, and fuck it, we ball. If you've stuck around this far into the video, bro, I am grateful for you. And we obviously have a lot in common. If you want an absolute hack to progress in your social skills journey without going through all of the hardship, failures, and time that it takes, if you want to skip to the part of just having the incredible deep relationships that you've wanted, invest in yourself, bro. Set up a call with me and see if we'd be a good fit for my one-to-one monthly coaching package, where I'm basically your best friend, giving you specific, tailored advice to your situation and accountability for months at a time. If that sounds interesting to you, hit the link in the description. So go ahead and like this video and save it to a playlist so you can come back to it and remember each tip, and leave a comment with your social journey, either how your social journey has been so far or the next step that you are about to take in it. Because not only does your story inspire me, but it inspires every other guy who's only one step behind you. So act now, brother. Become unstoppable.